everybody. Today I'm going to be talking about what is the MTHFR gene mutation and how to modify your diet and supplements if you have it. So first off, it's estimated that about 60% of the population has some variant of the MTHFR gene mutation. And the things I mentioned in this video are really good habits for anyone. If you know you have the mutation, it's going to be extra important for you. But even if you're unsure, these can still be really helpful habits. So I personally have not tested, so I do not know if I have it or not, but I follow these principles just in case and because there's a lot of other benefits to them. But anyways, let's get into it. So what is the MTHFR gene mutation, if you don't already know? To understand that, first we have to understand what the MTHFR gene is and what its function is. So pretty much what this gene does is it converts folic acid into its active form, which is methylfolate. There are a few others as well, but for simplicity's sake, we're just going to be talking about methylfolate in this video, and that is vitamin B9. So it's really important for a lot of things. One of the most important things that it does is methylation, which we'll get into in a second. But yeah, so there's different variations. I will pop up a chart on the screen here from one of my favorite books, Real Food for Fertility by Lily Nichols and Lisa Hendrickson-Shax. And anyway, you can see here a few. There are a lot of other types of mutations for this gene, but these are some of the most common ones, and you can see how there's varying degrees that it reduces your body's ability to make this conversion from folic acid into the active form, methylfolate, which your body can then use. You can't really use folic acid for much. It really needs to be in that active form. So the biggest problems that you can reach here are, one is a buildup of all this folic acid that you can't do anything with. And so when you're getting folic acid, this is going to be from supplements and from fortified or enriched foods like flours and grains. If you see that it has folic acid or that it has like vitamin B9 in the form of folic acid in the ingredients, that's going to be one source, or on your label for your supplements. So it's really important to look out for. If you're getting a lot of folic acid in your body and you have the MTHFR gene and you're not able to convert very much of it into methylfolate, then you're going to have this waste product that your body has to deal with. And your liver is going to be the one that has to deal with it. So you're just adding more work for your liver, and your liver already has over 500 functions. It's very busy. We don't want to give it more work. So this is also a reason for a proposed reason for morning sickness. Now that is a whole nother topic, but just want to mention that if you are taking a prenatal or a supplement that has folic acid in it, and you have the MTHFR gene, or even if you don't, it can end up being this excess folic acid that puts a burden on your liver and can end up resulting in morning sickness. Now, there's a lot more that goes into that, a lot more nuances and complexities, but just wanted to mention that real quick. The second main problem here is that you aren't getting enough methylfolate in. So if you are not consciously getting foods in that give you methylfolate, you're going to be deficient in it, and it's a very, very important nutrient. One of the most important things that methylfolate and other active forms of folate do in your body is methylation. So methylation occurs in every cell in your body, and it helps with a lot of things. So here's some of the things that methylation helps with: heavy metal detoxification, producing neurotransmitters, DNA repair, decreasing inflammation in your body, producing energy. It helps with your memory, your focus, and your concentration. It helps with breaking down estradiol into a less bad form of estrogen. So this is really helpful if you have issues with estrogen dominance and hormonal issues. It helps with producing testosterone. It helps with breaking down histamine. It helps support a growing baby. It helps with cell health and cell division, gene expression, and a lot more. So if you don't have enough nutrients for methylation, remember you need folate in its active form, methylfolate for this, then you will run into health issues with all of those things that I just listed. So if it's ringing some bells like, oh, I got issues with a lot of these things, then this is a potential problem that could be causing that. It is not the only one, but it is a potential one to be aware of. So the folate is not the only nutrient You need other ones for methylation, so it's also important to get enough B2, B3, B6, B12. Note for B12, it cannot be the synthetic form. It has to be methylcobalamin. I'm not entirely positive how to say that. But anyway, so that's important for all nutrients, but it's especially important for folate, B9, and for B12 to get the non-synthetic forms from food. So anyway, you also need choline, you need vitamin D3, you need zinc, you need the amino acid glycine, which can be found in oxtail, bone broth, meat stock, bone and skin on poultry, things like that. You also need methionine, which is an amino acid that is really easy to get enough of as long as you're eating meat and animal products regularly. It's important that you get all of these nutrients in to support methylation. So knowing you have the MTHFR gene mutation, or just wanting to play it on the safe side in case you do, here are things you can do to support methylation and just your overall health. First, you want to get enough methylfolate and other active forms of folate from your diet. So liver and egg yolks is the best way here. You can get 3.5 to 6 or 7 ounces of liver a week. That's what I recommend. And then at least 2 eggs every single day. You can get extra yolks by making hollandaise sauce and things like that too. And some other good sources are going to be kidney, salmon roe, crab, mussels, crayfish, sea urchin, beets, bell pepper, parsnips, guava, avocado, asparagus, and orange. All of that will help you get enough methylfolate in. And then the next thing you want to do is you really want to avoid that synthetic folic acid as much as possible. Like I said before, this really builds up in your body and creates an extra burden on your liver, especially if you have the MTHFR gene mutation. So really be mindful of supplements. If you're taking any supplements, read those labels carefully. You do not want folic acid. And then be mindful of any like grains or wheat or things like that. If you're consuming those, read the labels. You just want to avoid fortified and enriched foods in general because you aren't really controlling the quality of these synthetic nutrients that they're adding back in. So as a general rule, I just avoid that altogether, but always read your labels. It's a really good practice. And then you also want to get plenty of the other nutrients that support methylation. So remember, that is vitamin B2, B3, B6, B12, choline, vitamin D3, zinc, glycine, and methionine. And yeah, make sure you're getting those from real food. That's going to be a lot better than taking supplements. And if you want to learn more about how to get these nutrients in, I have a video where I talk about how I get all my nutrients in through my diet without taking any supplements. The only one I take is cod liver oil, but it's pretty much just a real food anyway. But anyway, I go over how I get all my nutrients in, so I'll link that up above and down below if you want to check that out. And honestly, these are things that I really recommend for everybody. It's always best to be getting your nutrients in the active form from food. It's just going to work a lot better for your body, and avoiding synthetic nutrients and supplements that can really throw your body off. So these are great things for everybody, but they're extra important if you have the MTHFR gene mutation. Something I forgot to mention earlier too is because you get a gene for this from both your mom and your dad, you can like double up and have it twice as bad and get a mutated form from both of your parents and be even worse at converting folic acid to folate or methylfolate. But or you can just get one. So it does show that in that chart I showed earlier in the video. But I came across a few other kind of random things in my research for this too. Like alcohol is especially bad for people that have an MTHFR gene mutation, probably because it taxes the liver. So yeah. And then laughing gas is also really bad for people with the MTHFR gene mutation. And apparently it oxidizes all your vitamin B12 and makes it useless. And vitamin B12 is very important for methylation. So that's another thing that can contribute. And then liver detox and just making sure your liver is healthy and your bile is flowing good is especially important for people with an MTHFR gene mutation. Of course, it's important for everybody, but extra important here. If you want to learn more about that, I'll link a video up above and down below that I have on supporting your liver detox pathway, getting your bile flowing and having a healthy liver. And yeah, if you would like more help on your healing journey, I am a certified nutritionist and I offer gut health coaching. So I help you to overcome chronic gut issues at their root. I went through my own gut issues for about 15 years. I had IBS, chronic constipation, bloating, abdominal pain. I was too low of body weight. I lost my period. I had no appetite. I went through all that kind of stuff, and I've been healed for the past 6 or 7 years now. And I love helping other people to heal. So now I offer a program where I help people to heal, and I really take into account your specific issues, and I write you a plan that is tailored for you. I take into account things like the MTHFR gene mutation. I actually have a lot of clients right now that know they have this mutation. So I really like to make a plan that's tailored to you and every specific thing that you are dealing with. And yeah, it's going to help you heal your gut issues and not give you just general random or just general advice that's not tailored for you, that doesn't take into account what you're going through. That can cause a lot of issues. So anyway, I love helping people to heal. So if you're interested in working together, I'll leave a link down below where you can book a call with me and I can share more about what I offer with my program and see if it's a good fit to work together. The first consultation is always free, and I really love talking with you guys. So I'd love to talk with you there. And yeah, if you want to check out that video I mentioned earlier on how I get all my nutrients in through my food, it was a really fun one to make. I really like sharing that. I'll leave it on the screen in a second and you can watch that. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.